Paid Sick Leave Law, the California Family Rights Act. Hello friends. California has several laws that protect employees' rights when it comes to taking time off from work. Today's topic is the California Family Rights Act, also known as CFRA. In this video, we'll summarize a very important legal right available to most California employees, the right to CFRA leave. Make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video because we'll provide you with a link to receive our CFRA checklist. This checklist will help you to determine if you are eligible for CFRA leave. It's also a handy checklist that covers how to apply for leave and what to do when you return. Obviously, if your human resources department has a checklist or procedure, you should follow that instead of this checklist. Basically, CFRA is a 12-week unpaid job-protected leave of absence that some employers must give you if you, a family member, or someone close to you, are sick or have some other qualifying condition. With a few exceptions, you are guaranteed your same or similar position when you return back from your CFRA leave. You also have the right to return to the same pay, benefits and working conditions as you had before you took CFRA leave. CFRA is different from California's paid sick leave or paid family leave. We'll discuss these leave programs in another video. CFRA is different from California's paid sick leave or paid family leave. We'll discuss these leave programs in another video. To be eligible for CFRA, you and your employer must meet certain requirements. First, only businesses in California that employ 5 or more workers have to give employees CFRA leave. Also, an employee has to have worked for their employer for 1,250 hours during the 12 months before they start their CFRA leave. CFRA can be taken for a broad range of family and medical reasons. For example, you can take leave for your own serious health condition if the health condition prevents you from doing your job. You can take CFRA leave for child bonding, whether it is your child by birth, adoption, or foster care. You can also take CFRA to take care of a family member with a serious health problem. The law recently expanded the definition of family member to include a designated person. So you can take time off to take care of a person who is related to you in the traditional sense, and anybody whose relationship with you is like a family relationship. For example, if you were raised by your friend's parents, and one of them develops a serious health condition, you could identify them as your designated person, and take CFRA leave to take care of them. If you find value in this video, please give us a thumbs up, it really makes a huge difference. And, if you want to know more about CFRA leave, click on the link in the description below for a worksheet prepared by the state of California that provides more details about this leave. You will also receive a checklist that you can use as a reference, in addition to whatever checklist your employer will provide you, so that you can take your CFRA leave. Now, back to the video. Employees don't always need continuous days off to address their family or serious medical conditions. In these cases, employees can take intermittent leave. Intermittent leave gives employees flexibility to take leave in separate, non-consecutive blocks of time. An employer's rules and procedures pertaining to CFRA leave are often found in employee handbooks and on company websites. You typically have to submit a leave request along with some documentation before taking this leave. There are exceptions if the leave is an emergency. Check with your employer. If you make a leave request, your employer has to review it in good faith. They can't ignore or deny your leave request just because it will make it harder to run the business. The employer also has to respond to the request in writing. If you receive this letter, read it carefully. If you are eligible for CFRA leave, it will usually be unpaid. However, your employer must let you take your sick leave and vacation pay during the CFRA leave period. An employee might be eligible for state disability insurance or paid family leave, which helps cover a portion of your lost wages. Besides job protection, CFRA requires your employer to continue providing you healthcare benefits while you are on CFRA leave. Sometimes, an employee cannot return to work at the end of the CFRA leave period, usually because they haven't recuperated from their injuries. When this happens, an employee has to notify their employer that they can't return back to work on the designated date. Ideally, they should do this in writing and well in advance of the date when their CFRA leave ends. Ideally, the employee should email a simple doctor's note to the employer. It should state generally why the employee can't return to work, and identify an estimated return to work date. The email should be sent to the employee's supervisor and human resources assistant. The email should be sent before the end of the leave period. Also, most importantly, the employee should state clearly in the body of the email that the employee does not want to abandon their job. In these cases, the employer must decide whether to grant additional leave as a reasonable accommodation of the employee's disability. This legal obligation is not made under CFRA but rather under California's Fair Employment Housing Act, also called FEHA. FEHA will be discussed in another video. An employee who believes their rights have been violated should ask a lawyer for advice. But in every case, the process of justice starts by filing a right to sue letter online with the California Civil Rights Department. If it is determined that an employer violated CFRA, the employee can be awarded reinstatement of their job, back pay, reasonable attorney's fees, damages for emotional distress, and potentially other penalties and administrative fines. By offering job protection and unpaid leave, CFRA ensures that employees, regardless of their immigration status, can take time off for important family and medical events while still maintaining their employment. This video was created for educational purposes only,